So let's talk about that feeling. You know the one. Right now, in this moment, things might be pretty quiet. But the second you think about the year ahead, you just get this knot in your stomach, right? It's this feeling like you need to brace for impact, but you don't even know what's coming.
And it feels like we're all in it together. It's kind of like we're all sitting at the very top of a roller coaster, just holding our breath for that big drop. We know it's coming, we just have no idea what it's going to look like. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try to cut right through that anxiety. We're going to find the signal that's hiding in all that noise.
All right, so first things first. Before we can find any clarity, we've got to actually name the noise. We have to understand what exactly is making us all so worried.
And man, it's a potent mix of these huge, kind of unsettling forces, isn't it? You've got the political chaos that just feels like a powder keg. Then there's the wild, disruptive power of AI that's just looming over everything. On top of that, there's this vertigo from a market that just keeps going up, and this nonstop fire hose of warning signs coming at us from all angles. It is a lot. This quote right here just nails it. It's not one single thing we're afraid of. It's the crushing weight of the uncertainty. That feeling that something big is on the horizon. And that not knowing, that's where the anxiety really thrives. So how in the world do you fight an enemy you can't even see? Well, for an answer, it's actually worth looking way back to an ancient school of thought called Stoicism. The Stoics were masters of navigating chaos, and they had this incredibly powerful tool that all started with what they called the chief task in life.
The chief task, it sounds simple, but it is absolutely profound. It's all about drawing a clear line in the sand. On one side, you put everything you actually have control over, and on the other, you put everything you don't. That one simple act of sorting is the secret because it tells you exactly where to focus your time and your energy.
I mean, just look at this breakdown. On the right, you've got all the big, scary stuff we worry about but can't control. Politics, the economy, what other people are doing. But check out the left side. We are in complete control of our perceptions, our own actions, our character, and how much effort we put in. Focusing here isn't about giving up. This is where your real power is.
Okay, so that's the what. We now know where to focus. So what's the how? Well, here's a really simple 3-part blueprint for putting this idea into practice so you can build a life that's resilient no matter what the world decides to throw at you.
Area number 1. This is all about what's going on inside. Forget about changing the world for a second. This is about mastering the world inside your own head, your thoughts, your judgments, and how you see things.
This quote from Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor of all people, is such a game changer. He has this realization: anxiety isn't some external thing attacking him. No, it was coming from inside him, from his own perceptions. And if he was the one creating it, well, then he could be the one to discard it. It's just this powerful reminder that our freedom always starts with how we choose to see the world.
And that leads us perfectly into area number 2, directing your actions. Once you start getting a handle on your inner world, the next step is about what you physically and mentally do every single day. The choices you make, the effort you put in, the habits you start to build.
So here's a little framework for that. First, go out and actively challenge yourself. Toughen up your mind and your body so you're ready for whatever comes. Second, adopt the idea of Kaizen, which is just a fancy word for continuous improvement. Just focus on making one small, positive contribution every day. And third, totally change how you think about competition. The only person you should be competing with is who you were yesterday. Fight in arenas where winning is just about your own effort.
You know, this whole idea of challenging yourself, it isn't just theory. For example, the author of the material we're looking at today puts this into practice with the yearly 21-day challenge. It's a real-world example of building that resilience muscle by choosing to do hard things, which prepares you for when life forces you to do hard things.
And that brings us to our final area of focus, which kind of turns things outward. Once you've got a better handle on your inner world and your daily actions, then you can start to really shape your impact on the people and the world right around you. And listen, this isn't about solving every global crisis overnight. It's about focusing on your immediate circle. Raising good kids, that has an impact that lasts for generations. Treating people with kindness, that changes the world one conversation at a time. Helping out in your local community, that makes society stronger from the ground up. These are real, powerful things that are totally in your control. Okay, so with that blueprint in hand, let's zoom all the way out for the last piece of this puzzle. This is all about shifting your perspective and learning to play the long game. Thoreau's advice here is just perfect. Instead of getting totally sucked into the panicked 24/7 news cycle, what he calls the times, go seek wisdom from sources that have lasted forever. History, philosophy, the great books. He calls these the eternities, and they show you patterns and give you a perspective that today's headlines just can't.
And this is exactly why that perspective is so critical. I mean, think about this for a second. The plague that Marcus Aurelius had to live through, that lasted for 15 years. The slow decline of the entire Roman Empire, that took 300 years. Our current problems, as overwhelming as they feel, are just a single moment in a much, much longer story. It doesn't make our problems disappear, but it definitely puts them in their place.
And what this all boils down to is focusing on the things that never, ever change. These are the constants: character, discipline, patience, wisdom, hard work. These are the things that will always matter, no matter who's in charge or what the stock market is doing.
And just like that, we're back where we started. We began with this image, feeling that anxiety about an uncertain future. But now, hopefully, we can look at it with a new sense of calm. Because in a world that is always going to be a little bit chaotic, the only way to stay grounded is to anchor ourselves to what's actually in our control and what truly matters.
So I'll just leave you with this question. As you move into the year ahead, with all of its guaranteed noise and uncertainty, what are you going to choose to focus on? The chaos or the constants? The noise or the signal? The choice is entirely yours.